There's one man's brain who's kind of been tasked with driving the ship of said WWE. He'll be heading into the Hall of Fame tonight. He'll be on a headset all weekend. He's a man who has given more to this business than anybody that I've ever met, committed his entire being to it, and will for the rest of his life. The current boss. Ladies and gentlemen, the cerebral assassin, terrorizing CCO, Triple H.
About the game, dude. About to play.
That was the right move.
Pros, pros.
Nailed it.
Okay. Mania ready. Terrible, Cole.
You still got it. You still got it. You still got it. You still got it. You still got it.
Cole nailed it.
At my age, I feel good that it's sprayed still. I usually
Triple H, thank you so much for blessing us with conversation, and also great work building up to all of this. Now, there has been a transition into a new era of the WWE. The WWE has had success for decades and decades, but at the current moment, we are at a different stratosphere than it has ever happened before for anybody. The multi-billion-dollar deals with Netflix, the global interruption that the entertainment world's doing, this setup for WrestleMania here in Las Vegas has to feel good. And it has to feel fulfilling that something that you love is now captivating more people seemingly than ever. Is that an accurate assessment of how you feel?
100%. I think, there's no greater feeling than something that you're that passionate about, where you live and breathe it 24/7. And to be able to put it out there, to be able to work along people, like you, like everyone else that feels the same way, that is as passionate about it, that grew up loving it, and that was a fan, that now gets to be a part of it. For us to all work together and see this level of success where these men and women can go out there, there'll be a couple 100,000 people will descend on Vegas this weekend for WrestleMania. There'll be, over 100,000 people there over a couple of days in the stadium. It's hard to put into words how cool it is.
Yeah, I think so, because Steve said earlier, he said, houses are packed, checks, like old school, the way they talk about what's success in the business. Well, there are people in the arena moving merch, and who cares? Do people care?
Yeah.
It's like people care now around the world. Everywhere we go is filled. Every single arena we've ever been in since I've been here has been filled. And now you got a football stadium looking like a basketball arena with how big that set is. I mean, is there thoughts of how much bigger can it get? Legit, like, because I'll sit out there sometimes, watch all the shit that you guys have put together, all of it. All the shows, all the stories, all this. It's like, how much bigger can you get? Are you guys still focusing on big growth project, or what is the thoughts?
I just don't think there's a ceiling on it. To me, and again, this is just my personal feeling on it, there is no greater form of entertainment than what we do.
Concur.
When it is done well and when it is at the highest level, there's nothing like it. It's why I became captivated as a 5-6-year-old kid with it, and that's all I wanted to do. It's why you grew up captivated. It was why all of them grew up captivated with it. And one of the coolest things is to look out here and see people of every single age group, every single race, denomination, everybody. Just, it's a big giant melting pot. It's like a family reunion. You come here, there's no fights over teams, there's no battles. It's just everybody loving something and getting along doing it. And then when you see that, and then you see little kids like this guy right here sitting on the shoulders, like that's that next generation, right? And they bring that next generation here, and hopefully he'll love it for life. And maybe I won't be here, but down the road we'll see him with his kids here, taking it to another level.
We'll need to see you here, by the way. We need you to live forever because of what you're doing right now with the WWE. And the boys will have their questions, but I have mine here. I heard you talk about the conversation you had with John Cena when he said he was sick of these fans and he wanted to turn on them and join The Rock. With how that is going, with Cody Rhodes, do you have any clue on what the reaction from these people will be if John Cena does what he says he's going to do, which is win the title and ruin wrestling? How do we make sure that doesn't happen so that this kid right over here that's on his dad's shoulders still has a wrestling that he can love going forward and not have that John Cena ruin it all here in Las Vegas, Mr. H?
Well, I think that incredibly cool of John. It would have been very easy for John Cena to want to come back here, do his greatest hits, and ride off into the sunset and just take the easy road and enjoy this last run and just relax into it. This is a challenge for him. Whether everybody loves that challenge or not, it's a challenge for him to bring things in a different way and to, on his last run, do things that he's never really done before and sort of challenge himself to go there. So hats off to him. I will say this, and this is not to combat John because his opinion is his opinion. You cannot stop this. You cannot kill WWE.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't care.
John.
I don't care what anybody says, what anybody does. This is WWE. This right here. This sea of people, that kid on the shoulders, this is WWE, and no matter what anybody says, thinks, or any differently, you cannot kill it. It will continue on.
Yeah, John. And once again, I'm a John Cena fan. Okay, there was a lot of Let's Go Cenas earlier. Not that many Cena sucks, so they might be on your side of this whole thing. D-Bud has a question for you, H.
Yeah, kind of on an earlier note, Pat was mentioning how people can be so hypercritical of the business now in this day and age. So many people care, and I live on X. And saw just an excerpt of your interview saying, hey, kind of F off, don't be a critic, be a fan. Was there more context to that because everything is so clipped down now?
Yeah, look, I'm just a big believer that if I ask you to go watch it, I tell you I saw a movie, thought it was great, you should go see it. Mm-hmm. You just go see it, you're a fan, you go watch it, you come back, you like it, you didn't, whatever. If I say, go watch that movie, give me a report on it, tell me all the things that worked, all the things that didn't, you go watch that movie differently, right? That's my point. At some point, you loved this. You loved it more than anything, and you grew up watching it, and you're invested, and you went as a fan, and then some reason you got into being a critic, or somebody asked you to be a critic, and now you're hypercritical. To me, that ruins the experience for people. I don't want to go watch a movie or anything else and just criticize everything I see in it. I just want to go see if I enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
People will criticize this. I don't put a lot of stock into what is on the internet unless it follows through to other things we do, right? So if they're, when Jey Uso won the Rumble, there were a lot of people that had their thoughts and comments and opinions on that, which is at the end of the day all they are. But there are 15,000 people in a venue, and as Pat said, it's been sold out all the time, yeeting and going absolutely crazy when he comes out, including him, right? So who do we listen to? The few people, you know what I mean, or the large crowd? And that's the thing. So we're fortunate enough to have a focus group every single night of a lot of people that are really in that moment fans, not being critics, not being anything else. And people are allowed to love what they love and dislike what they dislike, and their opinions are their opinions.
Yeah.
But you cannot base things on the opinion of some when the majority feels differently. But when the majority starts to feel it, then that's when you
got to listen.
You got to listen. Yeah, you got to listen.
It's a business where the fans very much matter.
Absolutely.
And in the world that we're in, though, it's like, are the fans that are the most vocal representing the most amount of people? You know, that's kind of a conversation happening around a lot of businesses. I will say this. The passionate fans that are critical of everything that happened are going to be wrestling fans for the rest of their lives. And that's why I think they feel a certain gatekeeping of what a wrestling fan is allowed to be, what a wrestling fan isn't allowed to be, what's allowed to happen. So I think they will always exist. But I will have you know, D-Butch, I don't think was like a diehard fan other than when he was a kid. Connor just got into it recently. Ty literally has been in it since he was a kid. We can't wait to just sit back. And that's why my job is the best in the world. I get to sit next to Cole, and I get to just watch wrestling for 2.5, 3 hours and have the time of my life. The business right now is more fun and better than it's ever been. And I think a lot of the ex-wrestlers would say that is the case as well. Promo-wise, back in the day, there was dogs, okay? Nowadays, there's a lot of people that are good on mics as well.
Yeah.
In the ring, being able to work. Back in the day, there was definitely guys that were able to work, but there was also a lot of guys that maybe couldn't work that well. Now it feels like a lot more people have the ability to work. Just like every sport, there's an evolution that takes place.
Absolutely.
And I think it's in a great spot. So I think the people on the internet that are negative, I think they'll be around forever. I think that's why they feel so passionate about it. But man, the bigger picture of all of us, we have loved the ride that you have taken us on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, legit.
Look, it's part of the thing.
It's a ride, brother. You're taking us on a ride. That's real.
For me, like one of the things I love to watch, we have the spy camera on you guys where I can see you, so if we need to talk about things between segs. There were times when I would see him and, bless him, would be trying to, you'd be like, oh my God, that's incredible. Oh, look at that. You know what I mean? He's trying to give you this energy and he's just sitting there. And now I watch him jumping out of his seat and I watch him freaking out and having a blast. I watch you doing it. I watch fans doing it. To me, that's the answer right there. If people are doing that, we got them and we're in a good place. And when they're not, then we readjust and we shift and we get them back there.
Lucky to be a part of your company. Cole has a question for you.
You know, one of the cool things about my whole career here is watching the evolution of you over 28 years. I mean, we've been...
I'll still wedgie you right now.
Do it. Please do, dude.
Do it now.
Do it.
I don't think so.
I am not reaching into the back of his pants for any reason under the sun.
You know, and it was really cool being a part of the whole evolution of NXT with you and being there at the Performance Center and being a part of all that. You've allowed us to be us, and you've allowed us to have fun. And I said it last year at WrestleMania, I love professional wrestling, and that's because of you. You've given me the opportunity to go out there and be who I am. I will say this, out of everything I've been through in this company, tonight is going to be perhaps the biggest honor of my career. Because Pat and I are going to be able to host the Hall of Fame tonight, and we are going to be there to induct this man into the class of 2025 tonight, the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You do deserve it, and I know you didn't want it. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, like, Triple H in charge, now Triple H going in. And for those people, just because I am very lucky to have conversations with other people potentially that have the ability to make decisions, this was the last thing that he wanted. It was forced upon you. But I hope at this point, at least, you understand just what they said. You deserve it, brother. 10 times.
Thank you. Look, clearly I've accepted it. When they surprised me with it and Shawn and Taker walked out on stage, I thought I just didn't read the format sheet for the town hall we were doing, and I thought, like Shawn's coming out here to promote something, and I didn't see it on the sheet. Like, I got to start paying more attention to this. It's an incredible honor. It was an incredible honor to be told by those two. You know, as we had talked about Hall of Fame, I did not want to do it. We had other plans, and then Nick took things into his own hands, and he's the president. So what can I do?
Yeah, not just him. There's a board too. There's a lot of people that were like, we don't care if he doesn't want it. He deserves it. Look at this. Look at this, dude.
Damn. Is that good, dude?
Yeah.
I do want to say something. You see all the titles. You've won 15, I believe, or 14.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I should know this, but you
14,
guys know.
14.
14. With that being said, how do you feel about the fact that John Cena could possibly beat Ric Flair's record and have 17 world titles on Sunday? Because I know what Ric Flair means to you in your life. How are you going to feel if John wins and breaks Ric's record?
I'll be happy for John. We'll be happy for the industry. You know, records are there to be broken. They're there to be surpassed. It is there for the next generation to come ahead and
chase.
Yeah, to chase, to have that sort of sitting in front of you. I think that if it's going to be done, there is nobody probably more deserving to do it than John Cena. But he's got a lot to overcome late in his career. And if you ask me, it's why he's on the shortcut that he's on, because it's a lot harder to do it at the place he's at than it was 20 years ago. So if he does it, I'll be incredibly happy for him. It doesn't take away from what, you know, Flair did or his amazing career, greatest of all time. But you can make that argument. You know, people have been having that argument since the beginning of anything. You know, how you can compare the Hogan era or the Savage era to the Bruno Sammartino era.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for saying that.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Has he? How long's he been wearing that?
All day.
Yeah. Just today?
Yes.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
All week, bro.
I was going to say, I'm not taking it off till Monday, dude.
You know, I just think that you can't make those comparisons. Everybody is great in their era, in their time. You know, it's nature. Look, I was standing back there just now, and one of your tech guys goes, you think you're going to get a bigger pop than Austin? I'm like, hell no, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Said that?
Like,
Who the fuck said that, dude?
But it's the fact that people even ask that question. I have no delusions of that, but like the comparison is always what people go to. It's just what they do. But I just don't think that's there's things you want to chase, but you've got to be happy with your own success and the place you're in. And I think those comparisons are just, you know, people fantasizing about things that can never be. Who's better, LeBron or Jordan? You know,
Don't go there.
Yeah,
They'll kill you, dude. They'll kill you, brother.
I'm not getting in that argument. I'm not saying anything. But it is it's hard to compare, right?
Very, very hard. Different sports, different times,
Yes.
different rules, different life, different everything.
Everything.
With that being said, you did mention his era. Hulkster has a question for you, Mr. H.
You did, Mr. H. First and foremost, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Obviously,
Thank you, Hulkster.
Please enjoy it. Please enjoy it. I'm just curious. We talk a lot about you've been there, done that. You've been at Mania, dude. You've came down that ramp, brother, and you know what that's like. Seeing you in your element last night, you know, doing everything, the creative aspect. When you do that, do you feel like, oh, I got this, so I'm not chasing, you know, being in the ring anymore? Because that was, as a lifelong fan, that was really cool to see, dude.
Thank you. You know, there came a point in my time, long before I hung up my boots for health reasons, where I was kind of done with it. And I hate saying that, because there's a few that I feel like, you know, later, I don't want to say I ever phoned anything in, but I just couldn't focus on it, right? I would be doing all this other stuff and then trying to train twice a day, trying to get ready to be in the ring. The day of WrestleMania, I would be working on entrances and, you know, doing a million other things, and somewhere late in the afternoon I'd be like, oh my God, I got a match in a couple hours. Like, I have to go think about this for the first time. I actually sort of felt bad sometimes for the people I was working with, because I didn't have the bandwidth, and the things for those other folks were almost the priority for me. I've said this a lot. To me, where I'm at now is very much like doing something for yourself in your life that you're very proud of, and then watching your kids do it and helping your kids to succeed in that, and the level of pride that you have in what they're doing. To me, you know, tomorrow, Sunday, watching Roman, Seth, Charlotte, Rhea, just so many talent that I will watch that in some way I was there through their journey, and like to think in some manner I kind of helped them get there or guided or whatever that is. But seeing them do that and the pride that comes out of you for them, that's an indescribable feeling. I can't. It makes my career in ring pale in comparison to me, in what it means to me, to what I am doing right now.
Fulfillment, brother. That's what you're feeling whenever you watch that. I assume teachers feel this way, coaches feel this way, parents obviously feel this way. And I had a chance to be NXT icon in the black and gold brand whenever you were running it.
Icon?
I'm an icon, yeah. Main evented one.
You heard what the hell he said.
Did you ever main event a fucking PLE?
I'm undefeated at WrestleMania.
That's not the question.
Yeah, so am I. Have you ever main evented a PLE?
No.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I did one year. A country whipping match.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Anyways, I took a lot of pride.
So icon.
Yeah,
icon.
I took a lot of pride in being a part of the NXT that you were running, but everybody that was down there watching you do your thing was like, oh, this is what you were like supposed to do. The way you interact with people, the way you think of answers, because a lot of it is problem solving too. And to his point, Hulkster's point about watching you last night, it was cool, and it has been cool to kind of watch you do your thing and how you go about doing it. Vastly different than maybe it's been done in the past.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, for me, it's just fun. I'm not out there doing it because I think, like, oh, I got to get on this, or I got to control that, or I got to this. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to go out there. I want to do this. I want to work with talent. I want to collaborate with people. The favorite thing for me on doing this is like, hey, what do we want to do here? And let's talk about this. And we had an idea for this. What do you think? How do we want to get there? And sort of riffing those ideas and bouncing them off people when you can be creative with somebody. To me, it's the best. It's I don't know. That's the coolest part of the job is just
you smoke weed?
Seeing it come through. What's that?
That's it.
What's that?
What's that?
What do I want?
Just as a creative person, I consider myself a pretty creative person. I think there's a lot of creative people.
Creative dude.
Creative guys.
But Pat, I've never seen you smoke weed.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So you don't either, right?
You eat a lot of candy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
Yep. Yeah.
Vitamins. But what is your creative process? Do you listen to music? What is?
It's a weird thing. People say, like, what do you do to get creative? I don't know. I don't feel like my brain doesn't stop.
Me neither. Yeah.
And you're just constantly thinking about it. The thing that's
notes
cool,
section in your phone. What do you do?
Yeah, a lot of that. I'm very not technical with the technology stuff, so I tend to not put things in notes. I tend to just send myself a text.
Oh.
And then
your own phone number?
Yeah. And then I just roll through my text and look at all the ideas.
What did I want to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. I just have a conversation with myself on text.
The notes section's right there, right?
Yeah, seems easier, but then again, I don't know. It wasn't notes when I started texting.
You getting a notification from yourself? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what did I say? Yeah, I got to go in there and look at what I said. Sometimes I piss myself off at the things I say to myself.
I understand. Yes. Hey, watch how you speak to yourself. You're listening.
Yeah.
You got to remember that. You've been doing great. We are all following along. Razor Ramon has a question for you. Obviously, friend of yours.
Yeah, Mr. H. We're talking about the creative part, and luckily we were able to debut the stage to lead the show today and during the second hour, and it's incredible. But I feel like not everybody gets the full sense of what it really is going to look like, tomorrow and Sunday. How did that design happen? Did you kind of start thinking of that as soon as WrestleMania last year started? And is this one of those stages where you do wish you were walking down that ramp just to feel what it's going to feel like and how different it is from the ones of the past?
Well, in all honesty, I'll walk up and down that ramp about 4,000 times tomorrow.
Perfect.
Tomorrow and Sunday, I'll be worn out by the end of the day from going up and down that ramp. Look, the beautiful part about this business, the difficult part about this business is it never stops, right? It's the story that never ends, thank God. As soon as a chapter is done, there's another chapter. And as soon as you put on an event, there's another event happening after it. People are just interested in what you're going to give them at that event. Forget about what you did at the one before, right? So it never ends. It's also the thing I think that is tough for people. It wears them out. When you're there every single week, and when you have to do that then multiple times per week, every single week. Travel. And if something goes wrong, you gotta acknowledge it. You've got to then push it aside, and you got to move on. You have an opportunity to fix it tomorrow or the next day or whenever that is. So you sort of have to be in that mode of just celebrate the wins, learn from the misses, but move on from both. Don't we'll celebrate when Sunday is over. We'll celebrate for probably 2 or 3 minutes before somebody will hand me the script of what we're going to be doing and the run sheet for Monday Night Raw the next night. And before I can even look at that, I'll roll over to the Tony Hinchcliffe roast and get with you guys. And then, at some point in time, we'll get on that. But this week, we spend a lot of time, put it this way, what we have done for WrestleMania is now kind of done. I sat with Floyd Mayweather once in his locker room right before a fight, and he was just laying on a couch watching a basketball game because he had money on it. Was the most relaxed person I'd ever seen outside of Pat on a regular.
Sure.
Just hanging out, right? And I said, well, I'm going to let you do your thing. And he's like, I've already done my thing. If I haven't done everything there is to do before I got here today, nothing I'm going to do right now is going to fix it. So I'm just going to relax, and in a little bit, I'm going to go out there and fight. No big deal, right? I feel like that's how we are. If we haven't done everything there is to do pretty much before that event starts on Saturday, we've messed up. So this week, we spend a lot of time on what happens on the other side, right? You have to get through what's in front of you, but the second you get the top of Mount Everest, you got to look around and say, which hill am I going up next? Doesn't mean you don't enjoy the success, doesn't mean you don't, learn from the mistakes. That's key, but you have to then put all that stuff aside and move on to the next thing. And it's constant. It is constant, and that is, I think there are a lot of people that want to be in this industry, and you see them get weeded out by the long term. Anybody can do this short term, but when you start to get into the years and years and years, that grind is what takes you down and can wear you out.
The excitement about this too, Paul, is that you have WrestleMania. Every PLE now, every month, is almost like WrestleMania. I mean, it's just as important, but we're playing major stadiums around the world, so you've got to be able to
Royal Rumble is in a football stadium.
Right. You have to be able to act.
Royal Rumble in a football stadium. SummerSlam will be 2 nights in MetLife this year.
Football stadium.
Yeah, will be, and that's the other thing. Even just the Talon are coming off 3 weeks in Europe.
Oh yeah.
Like sold out massive shows in Europe. We'll do this 3 weeks from this weekend. We'll be Backlash. A few weeks at 4,
really?
Maybe weeks
That's
after.
3 weeks from this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Quick turnaround, dude.
Yeah. It comes quickly and it keeps moving, and you just have to try to stay in front of it. And sometimes people will say, how do you guys do it? You just keep stepping. You just keep one step in front of the other, and you just keep moving forward. That's it.
And I've said one of the things about your leadership is the fact that you understand that you have an all-star team. Like, you have an all-star team across the board, behind the scenes, on air, in the ring, and you utilize that. And you don't overmanage. You basically say, you guys know what you're doing. The buck stops with you, but you.
How am I going to tell you how to ring announce or how to announce ringside? You know what I mean? I can add a storyline beat in here or there. I can tell you if something, don't go that far with that or whatever. But those are just little side notes. The rest of it, it's like, you guys do what you do. I can't, you're the best in the world.
But you rely on this team, and I think that's what makes it so good.
I can't do any of this without everybody else that's here. I can't
We can't do any of this without you being here. Tonight, we'll celebrate you going into the Hall of Fame. This weekend, we will celebrate you and your team's big-ass brain. And on Monday, at the Raw After Mania, we will celebrate what the next chapter is after you wrap up this particular WrestleMania season. And if you're on the internet, because it would never happen in real life, because every time I've ever been with you in public, doesn't matter if the people speak our language or speak another language. As soon as they see you, there's a that's Triple H, it's Triple H. Everybody does it because of how much you've done. But if you want to talk your shit on the internet, we got 2 words for you. Triple H, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, pretty good race for Ramon, huh? Pretty good Scott Hall. Not bad. You gotta get slower with his speed. Yeah.